This is the Module 5 review. You can find this on page 175. So the first couple are going to be vocab. Select the answer from the drop-down list. So 12 over 20 is an example of a ratio. Number 2, blank are ratios that name the same comparison. Equivalent ratio. How can a ratio be like a fraction? Because a ratio can compare a part to the whole just like a fraction does. A ratio can also compare a part to a part, which a fraction does not do. A ratio that compares two quantities with different units is called a rate. If the second quantity to comparison is 1, the comparison is a unit rate. Okay, what are the different ways you can write one table for every 4 students? We have 1, 2, 4. We have 1 colon 4, and then we have the fraction of 1 over 4. Number 6. In a smoothie, the ratio of ounces of blueberries to ounces of yogurt is 2 to 5. How many ounces of yogurt would be needed for a smoothie with 10 ounces of blueberries? So I'm going to separate this out. All right, so we have 2 blueberries. Two blueberries over 5 yogurts. And how many ounces of yogurt if we have 10 blueberries? So we're going to put 10, and yogurt's down here. So 2 times 5 is 10. So on the bottom we have 5 times 5 is 25. Just like that. Given that 16 watermelons cost $48, which of these are equivalent ratios of number of watermelons? So that's watermelons first. There are 16 watermelons for $48. So that one's right. It says all the correct answers. If I simplify this down, I get 1 over 3. So 1 to 3. And then if I multiply it by 3, I get 3 over 9, which is this one. A florist makes a bouquet made up of 7 roses, 12 carnations, and 5 lilies. What is the ratio of roses? So roses we have 7. To flowers that are not roses. So carnations and lilies are not roses. So 12 plus 5 is 17. So 7 over 17. At the produce store, Wendy sees that grapes cost $13.50 for 3 pounds. What is the unit rate? Remember, unit rate means I need to get 1 on the bottom. So 3 divided by 3 is 1. And then I'm going to do $13.50 divided by 3. So I'm going to come over here, do $13.50 divided by 3. The decimal goes up. 3 goes into 13 4 times because that is 12. 13 minus 12 is 1. I'm going to bring down my 5. 3 goes into 15 5 times because that is 15. We still have the 0 right here, so we have to put a 0 up. So we get the cost per pound is $4.50. Next. This is a double number line right here, and it shows the number of minutes it takes Stan to run different numbers of miles. So it takes him 8.5 minutes to run 1 mile. At this given rate, how many minutes will it take him to run 6 miles? So I'm going to set this up as a ratio. So I have 8.5 minutes over 1 mile. And we want to find out how long it takes him to run 6 miles. So 1 times 6 is 6, and then we're going to take 8.5 and we're going to multiply it by 6 to get our minutes on the top. So 8.5 times 6, 5 times 6 is 30, 48.9, 50, 51. We have one spot after our decimal, so one spot here. So our answer is, it will take 51 minutes to run 6 miles. Next. A plant grows at a constant rate. The table shows the height of the plant for different numbers of days of growth. So we go from 3 to 6, 7 to 14, 8 to 16, 10 to 20. Now, if you're looking at this, I hope you realize that each of these we just had to multiply by 2 to get the height. So on day number 3, you multiply by 2, got 6. 7 times 2 is 14. 8 times 2 is 16. 10 times 2 is 20. So we need to find down here, we're going to select 3 correct answers. To do that, we're just going to take the day and multiply it by 2 to see if we get the right thing. 4 times 2, oh, that is 8. 15 times 2 is 30. 9 times 2 is not 16. 11 times 2 is 22. So those are our 3. Okay, and our final one, we're at a paint store. Paint store makes lime green paint by mixing 3 yellows, 1 blue. This clerk at the paint store did 5 yellows to 2 blue. And here's our chart. So this is what he's supposed to use, and this is what he did. Did the clerk use the correct ratio of yellow paint to blue paint? He did not. Just by looking at these, I can tell, because if I cannot simplify these down and do divide by 2, because if I wanted to get 1 blue here, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 5 divided by 2 is not going to give me 3. So he did it wrong. So what's going to be one of these up here? Says, no, the clerk did not use the correct ratio of yellow paint to blue paint. If I look up here, I try to find, like, this one's 10 and 4. This one's 12 and 4. So that is not equivalent at all. And we are done with our review. Remember, you can always go back and solve problems that maybe you didn't understand as much, and you can watch this over again.